危機感。あなたがいればこの身にある力を最大限に発揮できると信じている。一緒に。
Hello and welcome. Today we are in the Tier 10 Royal Navy Light Cruiser, the Minotaur. Or is it Minotaur? I don't actually know what the proper English pronunciation is, but it doesn't matter. You'll have to simply oblige me, or bear with it, I suppose. I started out in the middle of the match, or map, and I simply sailed, well, straight ahead towards the middle of the map, because this allows me to be in a position to be able to engage enemies from all kinds of angles. So, because I don't know where the enemies would go, you know, now I can just choose where to fire at them. The Minotaur is, well, as you probably know, a very squishy ship. Battleships can hit really hard on her. In fact, they might literally just one-shot her. It doesn't happen commonly, but it can happen. However, she does have a super heal, which means that damage that she takes but doesn't actually sink her is mostly healable, or in large part at least. This can make the Minotaur survive a very large amount of damage taken. She also has good concealment. Now, I do have the legendary upgrade, which makes my concealment slightly worse. Also, we've already lost a cruiser. Wow, devastating strike, no less. But the Minotaur is effectively a squishy ship, but if she doesn't actually get sunk, she can survive for a very long time. Now, she isn't the most accurate ship at long range, just because her shell arcs aren't great. The shells take a long time to arrive, so it's difficult to aim at moving targets. But she does have a very high amount of DPM. She also has good angles. She only has AP, but the AP penetration angles on the Minotaur are actually really good, which means that she's likely to deal damage even when firing against ships at long range. And because the shells take a while to get there, they also arc fairly high, which means that you can fire over islands. She also has a very long-lasting smoke. Now, with the legendary upgrade, I can lay down the smoke screen for a good 60 seconds in a row. Also, ouch, I just got citadeled, but that's alright, we have a heal. And now we're gonna just punish that Kremlin over there for trying to aim at me. And I'm simply gonna move back and forth in the cap zone. I am actually taking the cap. I'm gonna use Hydro just in case, because you never know, maybe a destroyer dropped some torpedoes into this, what is it, sea? Basically in the path where I am. And the Hydro will simply keep me safe. If I see torpedoes, I'll simply move and avoid them. I'm gonna try to torpedo, because on the minimap you can see a Richelieu might be coming to visit me. Perhaps I should run away when that actually, you know what? This Richelieu is only at 32k HP. We might be able to deal a whole bunch of damage to her. We were at 24k damage when we started. Okay, I guess, nah, it's not gonna happen. She isn't taking enough damage from each salvo. My aim isn't the greatest. I should have aimed further back. Then again, I mean, we have done, what, 16k damage to her? But she is gonna survive this. Yeah, no, I mean, we actually did almost 20k damage to the Richelieu, so that's actually pretty good. And now we're gonna continue shelling the Kremlin. By the way, our smoke screen is still gonna last for another 50-ish seconds. Although the smoke bubble I'm in right now only lasts for 20 seconds. The smokescreen with the legendary upgrade goes on for a very long time, which is extremely useful, because that means you simply get to deal a lot of damage. The enemies would either have to bring a radar ship close enough to be able to radar me, or actually that's really the only real option. The other one is trying to get blind salvos, but in a random battle there are enough other targets that you're probably better off shooting those other targets than trying your luck on blindly hitting a Minotaur in smoke. Because even if you hit right, if you don't actually sink her, she just heals the damage you do back. The game isn't unraveling as quickly as I would like. It's already been over 6 minutes into this match and nothing has really happened. Wait, why am I spotted? Looking at the minimap? Why am I spotted? I mean, okay, I could be spotted now by the Richelieu, but why was I spotted before that? Because the Richelieu was behind an island for me. The Des Moines and the Kremlin were behind an island. Had to be a destroyer of some kind, I suppose. Ouch! I think that was the Kremlin again. That's really rude by that Kremlin. Oh well, it's fine. We'll just heal that HP back again. Well, most of it anyway. Or half, I guess. Okay, what should I do? I really don't want to leave this place, because right now I'm basically locking down the B cap. And we have no other cap zones. The enemy still has one destroyer, and I think if I sail away and the enemy knows that I have left, the Friesland will probably come and try to cap the B cap. But that would be nice if we could prevent it. So I guess I'm just gonna turn around and go back into the cap again. In fact, maybe looking at the minimap, we seem to be winning on the western side. The Bismarck and the Musashi and Yugumo against the Friedrich der Grosse, Aerroon and Amalfi, and I guess Friesland. I mean, we have the backup of a Buffalo, and we did have the backup of a Tallinn over there. Okay, and now the Riga went down. No, it wasn't a Aerroon, it was a Riga, my bad. But now the enemy is outnumbered there, so actually pushing here is a good idea, because I will be able to likely get the broadsides of the enemy on the western side. I mean the map, that is. But while we do that, we can just shell the Kremlin while we're behind the island. And if we get spotted, we always have the smoke screen. Kremlin isn't a very good target though, because she tends to not take as much damage if you can't hit the superstructure. Okay. Damn, it would be really nice if we could hit that Des Moines from here. We could actually take her out. Oh, there's the Friesland. Maybe we can place a few salvos on her. It's a destroyer, and just a few salvos that, if she's broadside on, can be devastating for a destroyer, especially when she doesn't expect it. Oh, that might hurt. Oof, 3k damage? 4.5k damage? Only 1300, and now she's gonna be angled. Well, that's still 1000 damage. But I mean, we just did like 10k damage to that Friesland easily. And yeah, it does seem that we're gonna take the A cap and hold on. And that should actually take out the last enemy destroyer too, in the Friesland. And then we'll probably take out the Amalfi as well. After which, we'll focus on the eastern side, but the game should be well in hand at this point. Although, considering we've lost 3 ships, they've only lost 4, perhaps it's not quite as over as it seems in terms of positioning. Because after all, the only ship in the middle here so far is, well, me, and I am a ship that could just go down easily. Good thing about fighting the Friesland is that she doesn't have any torpedoes, so I don't need to worry about being torpedoed here. Except, of course, the Amalfi does have torpedoes. However, I think that'll be alright. She is slightly angled, but not very well, because, I don't know, I guess she didn't expect me. But by the time she gets to fire again, she should actually already be gone. Wow, I'm not dealing as much damage as I expect, only 2-3,000. I'm not getting overpens. That's kinda odd. Oh well, now it's time to reverse, in case the Amalfi did actually launch torpedoes, so I should put an island between me and the position the Amalfi could fire torpedoes at. And then we just shell the other side. In terms of points, the enemy is actually ahead, but in terms of ships now, we've lost 4, they've lost 6, so it's a pretty big difference. And since we're taking the A cap and we already hold the B cap, we will be at a sizable advantage in terms of points as well. And we should probably win this, although they still have 4 battleships. We actually only have 3 battleships. So it's possible for them to have a chance, since... Oh no, oh no. Immediate smokescreen because of the Kremlin, please, let's survive. Okay, 8k damage, but we're still around, and now we have a heal ticking. We can definitely shell the Kremlin here, but I do have to be somewhat careful, because she actually might take some blind salves into the smoke. And if she gets much more closer, well, actually not that much closer, if I fire my guns, I'll be spotted. So I'm just gonna stop firing here. I'm gonna launch torpedoes and hope that the Kremlin simply eats them. I do make a small mistake here, actually maybe a big one even. I should have launched more torps to the left side. so that they go past the island, because it's likely Kremlin will simply turn and then avoid most of the torps. But yeah, I really shouldn't fire my guns here. Kremlin might just take a random salvo and then I'm pretty dead. Okay, she was looking elsewhere, so let's fire a few salvos, especially since I'm moving forward. And now I'm behind an island anyway, so she wouldn't be able to punish me. Oh, and we actually did land a torpedo that caused the flooding, but it's a Kremlin, so she probably does have damage on. But we are gonna run now, and just simply hope that by the time the Kremlin makes it around the island, I'll be far enough that I can't be spotted, or the Kremlin simply looking the other way. Yep, she is already looking the other way, so I think I might as well shell for now. Oh no! Actually being spotted here might be a bad idea. This is risky. Risky, risky, risky. She is aiming at me, I believe. Yep. No! She wasn't aiming at me. Or at least she didn't... Yeah, no, she was aiming at the Talon, and she actually sank the Talon. But that also means that I took no damage here, which means that I'm gonna be alright. Oh, Massachusetts in front of me. You know what? She is actually priority. And then we'll just keep going and hope the Kremlin can't take another salvo. Hey, Massachusetts, 10k HP. Her guns are turned... Are they turned at me? Yeah, they are. Oh no. Okay, turning in. And we're still alright. And we have a heal going. Okay, now it's time for the Roma. 15k HP. We'll take a few salvos, then she'll be behind an island and we'll be alright. And I'm gonna simply reverse here. Be behind the island. Oh, there are torpedoes incoming. Friendlies. It'll be fine. Think, right? Wait, is that torpedo on the path with my ship? That's... I need to go forward to avoid it. Yeah, I need to go forward to avoid that torpedo. Okay, it ended, but I actually moved forward here. This is... a bit sketchy. I hope that rock is between me and the Roma here. I'll keep shelling the Richelieu, but I do hope that rock is between me and the Never mind, the rock was not between me and the Roma. The Roma managed to get a salvo in and that sank me. And all because I had to sail forward because of the friendly Shimakaze torpedoes that were heading in my direction. Maybe the smarter choice would have simply been to risk it and either get hit by the torpedo or, you know... As we know now, it ran out, but I didn't know that at the time. Could have been that the torpedo hit me, but it's a friendly torpedo. Maybe it wouldn't have sunk me. I don't know. I was hoping that moving forward would allow me to avoid it, because that would allow me to turn in and move my aft out of the way. That was really unfortunate, because if I hadn't gone forward at least a little bit to get some maneuverability, I probably wouldn't have been hit by that Roma, and I could have gone forward to then shell the Richelieu. By the way, that Kremlin is still alive. This Roma's days are numbered though, because if she doesn't come out and get shot by the Musashi, she'll simply be farmed by the Bismarck on the side. And we also have a healthy Buffalo and obviously a Shimakaze that just torpedoed actually a Richelieu. So well done to that Shima. Those torpedoes were simply unfortunate early on. Wait, what? What are you firing at, Musashi? I think Musashi just hit the main belt of the Roma. And obviously as the Roma was angled, she couldn't overmatch it. All she had to do was put the shells into the nose. But no, she decided not to. Is the Musashi gonna get rammed? I mean, would a ram even kill the Musashi? If he has a ramming flag, then I think the answer is no. Because the Roma simply just doesn't have the HP. Okay, I think she would now. But she went down anyway, and that won us the game. It was a pretty good Minotaur game, I think. I mean, we did almost 200k damage, 196k. We hit 491 shells, we even hit the torpedo. We kept literally the middle base on the map. Not a destroyer, me as a cruiser. But this is nothing compared to what that Buffalo did. 2700 base XP and a Kraken Unleashed in a Buffalo in a tier 10 game. That's unbelievable. And when I say unbelievable, I mean that I literally cannot believe that this happened. Wow. It's truly amazing. Well done, Buffalo. Really well done. Here's my... 89,000 damage to that Kremlin. I can understand why that Kremlin really wanted to sink me. But luckily I just didn't fire my guns while in the smoke. Still, I can really understand 89k damage. I mean, as a Kremlin, that's really frustrating because your damage control party doesn't do anything against the Minotaur, right? Other than the time I hit her with a torpedo. So yeah, this is a pretty damn good game. Although it was in the last patch, but whatever. Not that much changed in the patches. So these are the skills that I use. Last Stand, then Priority Target, then Adrenaline Rush, then Concealment Expert, then Superintendent, Survivability Expert, and then Consumables Enhancement. So I was thinking maybe IFA would be good, but since I have 2 points left over that I haven't actually claimed, and I still have 1 point left over, I guess I'm gonna take some other skill. I don't know what to take though. Maybe top grade gunner on something like a Minotaur makes sense, because you know, you might end up fighting ships that rush you, and then this could be useful. But on the other hand, 9.6 kilometer concealment kinda isn't good enough. Maybe outnumbered though, because you might be in a position where you can take advantage of this. Because the Minotaur has smokescreen, so it's possible you end up in situations where you simply can be outnumbered. But I really don't know what to go for on a Minotaur. Because the skills, they're good, but they're not like amazing. Maybe, yeah, with 3 points, I don't know what to go for. Because the torpedo stuff is kind of pointless. The AA doesn't do anything. IFA is like the only skill that I can take that actually does anything on a Minotaur. Everything else is tier 4, right? I mean, look at it, right? None of the torpedo skills make sense. The anti-air thing doesn't do anything. The turret traverse one doesn't do anything. The only thing, yeah. It's a pretty tricky thing. Anyway, upgrades I went for reload, then the legendary upgrade. If I didn't have this, then obviously concealment, which would actually make my concealment better, but it would make my smokescreen shorter. Basically, my build is to combo smokescreen duration, dispersion time, and the consumable duration. So I could lay down a really long smokescreen line, but it also would last a while. Then steering gears, then obviously smoke generator again. I only take this because I have the legendary. If I didn't have the legendary, I would not take that smokescreen ability. Because this makes me lay down a smokescreen for 61 seconds. That's an entire minute of the duration of a smokescreen in a row. Then here obviously hydro. If I took radar instead of hydro, then obviously I would take the radar upgrade. I mean radar instead of smoke. But I don't. If you do take radar though, then you obviously don't use legendary. And then main arts modification 1. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I would like to thank the patrons on Patreon. Thank you very much for your continued support, and I hope I'll see you guys next time.